just very briefly, what does that successful test and the maneuvering warhead, what does it say about China's nuclear ambitions?
It says that their rocket, their DF-31 works as advertised. That's number one. Number two, it builds confidence in their military in terms of, and their political leadership, that if whenever they're ordered to launch a missile, it'll launch and it'll land in the place that they want it to land in. And I think the most important thing is that if you take a look at sort of where it could have gone, the range, and you make a big circle around the Earth on that, you'll notice it'll hit several countries such as Australia, India, even as far as Israel. These are all countries within the range of the DF-31.
Yeah, we'll take a look at one of those maps later on. Chinese officials said relevant countries had received notification of the test. The US confirmed this, saying Beijing's notification was a step in the right direction and would help prevent misunderstanding or miscalculation. However, many countries in the region weren't notified. Taiwan expressed stern condemnation. Australia sought an explanation from China, and New Zealand called the incident an unwelcome and disturbing development. The US spokesperson said China's move represents a common sense, confidence-building measure, so we want to see these types of notifications continue. Professor Lin, China ally Kiribati came out recently criticizing Beijing, saying the Pacific is not isolated pockets of ocean and it does not welcome this kind of test. So it seems that there's a bit of an inverse, isn't it? This time, the US seems to be quite satisfied with the way that China has conducted itself.
I will be seeing in this China, Beijing, he wants to connect with American because he will be saying this is a new normal. The American is start to connect with the mainland China. When the Pentagon directs connect to the pillar, the Indo-Pacific, theater commander also to meet the main pillar A, the South theater, the commander. So the military to military meeting, or we can say that the military diplomacy will be reset. So in the American also he want to mainland China, he will become like a responsible stakeholder.
So they want to encourage that behavior from China. Gemont, but do you think that there was a diplomatic blunder by not informing the vast majority of the other countries?
Yes, I do. Typically, whenever you do a missile test, there will be what they call a Notice to Airmen and Mariners, a NOTAM. And NOTAMs are designed to give areas for ships and airplanes to avoid during the missile test. In this case, they didn't issue a NOTAM, which everyone in the world would see and avoid. The DF-31 has 3 stages. That means that there are 3 parts that fell from the sky into the ocean.
We'll go on to that in a little bit, but if you could tell me why you think China didn't do that.
Well, there's several reasons, but I think probably the first reason is they didn't think that they needed to. I mean, that's a possible reason. But when they launch satellites, they make a NOTAM. So I don't understand why they wouldn't. And it could be the other reason, which it could be just arrogance. We don't need to tell anybody else, and that's it.
But we will tell our greatest rival.
We'll tell our greatest rival how strong we are. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So let's take a look at the estimated route of the missile, which likely traveled eastward toward the Pacific Ocean over the Philippines, Guam, Micronesia, and Nauru before landing close to French Polynesia. So, Professor Lin, if you could make an assessment of the danger for these countries. Gemont started talking about the 3 parts to the DF-31.
I think although that's the 3 parts, but this country, they will be, maybe they will be thinking, okay, maybe 1 part will be low, will be fall down and have some danger. But for this country, the first thing they will be worried is mainland China's military capability. Yes, he means if the Dongfeng 31 can fly in and reach there, that is mean inside like the Japan or other country, in Taiwan or the Japan. Sometimes, yes, PLA, they have a nuke, but the nuke is not focused on them because we are too closing. So is this the Dongfeng 31 ICBM? His target is not this country.
So who is the target, do you suggest?
I continue to say, they will be first is U.S. And then I think in the not only U.S., Beijing also will be understand that ICBM that is to showing it's like in the Cold War in Soviet and the U.S. Because they have a nuclear power.
Okay. Gemont, let's go to the map that we have of the ranges of the different missiles, and we can continue this theme about what you said about how it could be any number of different countries that could have been targeted. China's Ministry of National Defense did not announce the type of dummy missile launched this time. Analysts believe that the missile could have been a Dongfeng 41 or 31. China claims that Dongfeng 41 has a range of up to 15,000 kilometers, which would cover most of continental America and therefore for most targets on Earth. We can see the Dongfeng 31 in red, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and 41 is in the pale purple color.
Right. So, first of all, understand that these are the land-based missiles, and they're centered on the central part of China. So, if these missiles are moved in different parts of China, the rings would move in those directions, so it can cover more area. But as you can see, the DF-31 and the DF-41 can pretty much target most of the all of the United States. With the 41 and 31, the northern, the entire west coast and northern part of the United States.
Okay.
So what this means is that they're demonstrating that they can strike the United States anywhere in just a few minutes. Now, the problem is that the missiles on the submarines, the ICBMs on the submarines, can be anywhere in the world. So they can be off the coast of California. They can be anywhere. So they can launch, and their distances are shorter to the target. And I might add, too, that just because the range is far doesn't mean that these same missiles can't be used, let's say, against Japan or the Philippines or U.S. bases in the Pacific. So these are the maximum ranges.
You're disagreeing a little bit with what Professor Lin had said.
Yeah, these are the maximum ranges, but you can shoot the missile up higher and it goes shorter. And that's how these missiles work.
Right. Yeah. Professor Lin, so we're essentially talking about China wanting to be able to target or to reach the U.S. From the U.S.'s perspective, we know that China has around 350 ICBM missiles. How about the U.S.?
I think the American also they have enough the nuke, but sometimes if yes, because that's a nuclear weapon, you have the 1 or 10 or 100. That is also will have the huge danger or the huge capability. If you launch the missile, but it cannot hit the target, that is still like the garbage.
Okay. Right.
So I think this part will be two sides also will be want to know each side's nuclear and including missile capability.
Yeah. Okay. So the accuracy of the systems and everything.